So Sri Krishna told Arjun that always think of me. But if you are unable to do that, because that is a state of perfection, practice to reach there. Keep on trying. What is the practice? Primarily two: detaching the mind from the world, attaching the mind to God. So keep on doing this. He called this Abhyas Yoga. And as I mentioned to you, practice is vital for success in any field in the world in which we wish to become adept, in which we wish to become skillful. It doesn't happen without practice. Somebody is typing at the speed of 80 words per minute. His or her fingers are flying on the keyboard. Now, somebody who's unaware of this art of typing, if that person sees this typist for the first time, he will say, does she have some siddhi? How come she is able to move her fingers so quickly? I can't believe this. Is it a result of some yogic sadhana that she's developed such speed? There is no siddhi. It was all the result of practice. That lady practiced for 1 year. She began from the same, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog or whatever. And then over the space of 1 year's practice, she reached that speed of 80 words per minute. So that is where practice takes us. There's a beautiful story in our history regarding this. One of the most accomplished poets in Sanskrit literature has been Mahakavi Kalidas. He is considered Mahakavi, like Valmiki is considered Adi Kavi. So Kalidas, we have all heard in our childhood, right? He was initially a gross fool. He was so foolish that he was sitting on a branch and cutting the same branch. His cognitive ability could not figure out that when the branch got cut, he would fall. Now, in that kingdom, there was one Rajkumari, one princess, who was a great scholar. And she wished to marry somebody who was exceedingly scholarly. So she said, I will only marry that person who can defeat me in Shastrarth, scriptural debate. Now, many of the Pandits of the kingdom, they desired to marry her and they came forth to do Shastrarth, but she would defeat all of them. That was very hurtful to their pride. And all these Pandits, they gathered together and they resolved to teach that Rajkumari a lesson. So they said, all right, we will connive and get her married to a fool. Now they were walking along when they saw Kalidas cutting the branch on which he was sitting. So they said, he's the best candidate. They told him, listen, we are going to get you married in a great house. You don't open your mouth. We will speak for you. So they took Kalidas to the court and told the princess that he is a great scholar, but right now he is maintaining the vow of silence. He is a Mauni Baba. In India, we've got Mauni Babas, right? So he is maintaining the vow of silence. So this Shastrarth will take place merely by gestures. So the Rajkumari said, all right, let us begin. She lifted one finger. Now Kalidas could not figure out what she was meaning. He thought she's saying, I'll break one of your eyes. He lifted 2 fingers. I'll break both your eyes. The Pandits asked, what was your question? She said, my question was that what is the nature of Brahma? Is he one or many? So they said his gesture of 2 was indicating that Brahma has got 2 aspects. He is both Sakar and Nirakar. She said, all right. So then she lifted her hand like this, showing her 5 fingers. Now Kalidas construed that she is indicating, I'll slap you. So he lifted his fist, I'll box you. Again the Pandit said, what was your question, O princess? She said, my question was that the 5 senses are troubling the soul. What is the solution of subduing them? They said his answer was that you have to control them with the help of the mind. So in this way the Shastrat continued, and finally these Pandits, taking advantage of his silence and discussing amongst themselves, they defeated her. Now she married this gross fool. So they were sitting in their room when a camel passed by. Now Kalidas, in his ordinary language, he saw the camel and said, Uttara, Uttara, Uttara. The Rajkumari thought that what kind of person is he and how does he speak? When she engaged in conversation with him, she realized that he is unlettered and unread. So she pushed him down the stairway. Kalidas went rolling down, landed with a thud, got hurt. But he resolved, I will correct this deficiency within me. He got up from there and went to Kashi. And by constant practice, he became a scholar. And then, having become such scholarly, he returned. And when he reached the palace, he knocked on the door and said loudly with great confidence, Kapatam dwaram dehi. Shrimati ji, darwaza kholiye. So the princess heard, recognized her husband's voice and said, Asti kaschat vag vishesha. Seems like you have become a great scholar. So Kalidas, those 3 words she spoke, he took those 3 words and began his 3 Mahakavyams with Asti, with Kaschat and with Vag Vishesha. So imagine where he reached as a result of practice. So that famous couplet, Rasri avat jat te, silte hot nishan. Karat karat abhyas te, jad mati hot sujan. It is said that the rope made of grass by repeated movement in the well creates a groove on the stone. Similarly, through repeated practice, this jadamati, this dull intellect can be made sharp. And this obstinate mind can be absorbed in God. So Sri Krishna said, Arjun, if you cannot do the best, you do the second best. Practice. And if somebody says, Humse to nahi hota, I cannot practice, then give me some other way. The other way is the way of the world. You keep rotating in 8.4 million species. नहीं स्वामी जी, वहाँ तो बहुत जूते चप्पल खा लिए. I have received too many beatings in the world. In that case, if you have understood that the world is not the source of happiness, you can't find divine bliss there, then keep trying. If you don't complete the journey in one life, you'll do so in 2 lives. If you can't do it in 2 lives, 3 lives, 4 lives, 10 lives, Baba, but you have to reach there. And if you say, Hatao Jhagda, to pado jhagde mein, then keep rotating in the cycle of life and death. So there is truly no other option. If you are not perfect, try and reach that perfection through practice.